Rants and Big Pants. I'm Neens, this is DB, and we've got a very special guest with us today. We've got Suzanne Davison, who is the owner and co-founder of Fix My Family, and I think we're all going to find something really interesting in this, as well as you guys too. So Sue, why don't you tell us about what it is you actually do?
Okay, so I am a therapist, coach, NLP practitioner, hypnotherapist, anything you want to shake a stick at, but I'm mainly a therapist and coach that works with families, individuals, or collectively, depending on who needs what. Okay,
but I find that you're very different to, in the past I've had counselling, you've had counselling, etc., and I have been to see you, and I find what you do is very different to
traditional.
Absolutely, traditional counselling, yeah.
So, not knocking anybody and whatever they're trained in, but counsellors are very much about talking therapy, which is brilliant, but we can talk about things for a certain period of time, but it doesn't necessarily change it. So you have the talking therapy, you have the world of coaching, which is about goal setting and striving and moving forward, but there's this big gap between the two, which is what I was just saying, Tasha, is the knowledge, yeah? It's the understanding. Why do I feel the way that I do? If I understood why I felt it, I might then be able to just change it. But that's the bit that's different. So
okay,
it brings the two worlds together.
So you can teach people techniques
100%.
to understand that bit in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, which is, how do we go about doing that? Do we give you a scenario, or can you just tell us?
Well, I think it's about, okay, so people will come with a problem, yeah? So come to me with a problem then.
Okay.
Make it real.
Okay, well that's awkward. Right, okay.
Not too real.
Oh, can you make it real?
Okay, so I have twin boys.
Yep.
One is very, very like me.
Yeah.
The other one is very much like his dad. And I'm not going to sit here and slag off my ex-husband, but there's a reason we got divorced, and that is because we weren't compatible.
Okay.
So my son, who I'm very close to, but he's more like his dad, I have a harder time understanding because he looks physically more like his dad, he has his dad's mannerisms, he speaks, I don't mean sort of, but the vocabulary is very much like his dad's, and I find that we don't find a happy medium or a way where we both communicate, and I'm sure he thinks it with me as well.
Okay. When anything that happens to us under the age of 11, yeah, so if we look at your boys, so how old were they when you split up from your husband?
2.5.
Okay. Has he still been a part of their life?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what tends to happen is you'll have, if you've got two children, they tend to be, one will model themselves on one parent and one will model themselves on the other parent. So the son that you have that's modelled himself on your husband, so what he's done, even though it's a subconscious thing, he's just learned his mannerisms, the way that he is. There might even be some genetic stuff there. But the issue here is the things that probably frustrated you about your husband, yeah, when we go through relationships or things that cause us pain, they get stored in a certain part of the brain, okay?
Absolutely.
And the reason it gets stored in the brain is because if you're in that position again, it will start to make you feel uncomfortable, and it's, in a way, it's a protective, yeah? It's a survival thing. Things that must have happened with you and your husband that will be stored inside that part of your brain that caused you some sort of pain. And if I look at anything like depression, stress, anxiety, phobias, it's all stress, yeah? So rather than using a word that kind of labels you as a mental health condition, we're just stressed. So your relationship with your husband got very stressful.
Yep.
So and that's stored inside of you. So when your boy does the same kind of traits or behaviours, it kicks off something in your stress system.
It absolutely does.
That starts to bring up this old feelings that you've had in the past. And even though your little boy is not your husband, it's the pattern, it's the behaviour. So it's because it's stored. And if they look like them especially, the brain will even associate the looks.
Yeah.
So what's happening is you're not getting stressed technically with your son. It's still the stuff that's stored inside of you. That
makes perfect sense.
When you understand that, Obviously what I would suggest is that you come and get that part of your brain sorted out and take your husband out.
Yeah.
So then you can just deal with your son as your son.
Can I just, sorry to interrupt, but when you say, you know, come and take that part out.
Okay, so so these are the bits. So not talking therapy, not coaching, as in setting goals. There's that interim bit, which is kind of like intervention work. Yeah, so that will be things where you can rewire and reprogram certain behaviours or thoughts and stuff inside your brain.
And you can teach people how to do that.
I would have to do that.
Yeah.
That's the bit that I'd have to do. I can teach people understanding, you know, setting goals, understanding people, but it's the bit about when you need to do the actual interventions, it's hard to do it on yourself because it's painful. It's like ripping the plaster off. You pick it and then you go, no, I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
You need someone just to go, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the bit is, so if you look at your life, you know, like the old, when you have the wires with all the photos pinned to it.
Yes.
Yeah? So if you think about your life with your husband, so it's a chapter, yeah? So it's just a chapter of your book. But if you think about all the pictures being kind of like pinned up on like a wire.
Sorry, one moment, I'm laughing because I always make Tash take this down.
Okay.
Because I always say it looks a bit messy.
This is perfect. Right, so if this is you and your husband's chapter, yeah, certain pictures you won't feel anything. Yeah, no, you won't feel anything. But there'll be certain pictures that it's as if they're electrically charged, and you'll think about them, and it will create a feeling.
And it still creates something.
Yeah, it creates a feeling. The reason is it's stored in this part of the brain that it hasn't let go of because it's trying to keep you safe so you don't go back into that relationship type of relationship again. So part of what I'd have to do is unplug this so you could still have the picture, but you don't have the emotion. Or you make a positive one, and that might be, thank Christ I'm not there anymore, rather than a and also there's a fear inside of you. So I've never met your husband, so I don't know ex-husband. There's a fear inside of you that your son will turn into him.
Oh, there absolutely is, and I totally acknowledge that. There isn't anything wrong with my ex-husband other than the fact that
you're not compatible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Tell me something that he does, or give me an example of something that could trigger a reaction inside of you.
So sometimes it may be a reaction to something I say, whether it's totally innocuous, but he will give me a look.
Okay.
And that look is when I say I see that film, and that look is one of, shut the up, you stupid bitch.
Right.
And I know that look, because that look was a look that I got a lot. Now, I'm not saying my son is sitting there thinking, but he has this face, and I can actually feel the bristles go up.
Okay, let's do it.
And I think to myself, wow, do you know what? I'm going to wipe that look off your face.
All right, let's get rid of it. So, this is how we do it. You want to do this?
Yeah, perfect.
So, if I said to you, if you had to find that look, so describe that look to me. So what would it be like if your son or thinking about your ex-husband, if they did that look, what would
that look is, there's a kind of a lip curl to it, it's a look down your nose, it's that when somebody looks at you and go, you know when somebody's trying to bounce something back to you and they're like, what's your problem? And actually they're the problem, that's the face.
And obviously when your son looks at you, you want to be able to see the fact that it's just your son.
Yeah, and he's just been a boy.
And he's just been a boy.
Yeah.
And how old is he? So 12?
12.
And they do get defiant, and he's trying to find his way. And you know what? And even if he does turn out to be like your ex-husband, there will be somebody like your ex-husband's wife that will love him for who he is. Yeah? But as a mum, as we all know, we have to find this unconditional love that says, actually, whatever shape you are, I love you.
Okay,
that's right.
Yeah?
Let's do this.
Okay, so let's do this.
Okay.
So don't worry about the science behind it. I'm just going to tap on certain parts of your body, and all we're going to see is if we can decode your nervous system. That's all we're doing. So can you still see the picture of your son? And can you still feel that anger, that sort of feeling in that dark blue? So normally I'll do this on a one-to-one, but so you're going to have to just go with this feeling. So I want you to start to tap the top of your head. Take your glasses off your head, sweetie. That's it. Right, tap the top of your head. So even though you're feeling the way that you are, it's okay. Yeah?
Because my eyes shut.
Because you love and accept yourself for who you are. It's important that you acknowledge it's okay to feel what you're feeling. Because if you say don't feel it, your body will go, no, I feel it. But I still love myself for who I am. I want you to tap your third eye might be much open your eyes a little bit and then just see. Tap here. So even though I've been holding on to this feeling is just a part of my past. This feeling that I've been holding on to isn't about today. I want you to tap the corner of your eye. Yeah, so this feeling that I've been holding on to somehow has been trying to keep me safe. And it might have been trying to keep me safe so I don't have to put up with stuff that I put up with before in the corner of my eye. But now the people that I have in my life aren't the people that made me feel like that. Yeah, then underneath your eye. So now that I know that I've got the people around me that I love and they love me for who I am and accept me for who I am, underneath my nose, so perhaps I need to accept them for who they are. And on my chin. And I want you to tap your collarbone just in 2 circles. This is a good one if you get anxiety. It's a good one to tap out. And I want you to tap under your arm like a monkey. And I want you to tap the back of your hand. Let's just show people where it is. And as you do, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to open them. And I want you to close them. And then I want you to open. Then holding your head still, look down to the left. And then back to the centre. And then down to the right, and then back to the centre. Now I want you to circle your eyes as big as you can in one way, and then big as you can right back in your eyelids the other way. Then I want you to hum 2 lines of Happy Birthday. Count out loud 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hum again. Now take a really deep breath in with me. So come in, really slowly out. Excellent. Okay, so the picture of your son doing a bit of lip curl and feeling that kind of dark blue sort of bristly feeling that you had. You scored it up at a 7 before. Where would you score it now?
Yeah, about 4.
Yeah, it's going to go again. So there is science behind it. So the feeling you had when your son did his lip curl, and look you. So when you look at him, yeah, and he goes to do a bit of a lip curl, and you took that as he's calling me stupid.
Yeah.
How are you going to take it now when he lip curls?
What's your Elvis?
What's your favourite Elvis song?
If I Could Dream.
Okay, so every time he does it, what are you going to do?
I'm going to sing If I Could Dream in my head.
There you go. Okay. So what your brain has just done is it's changed its association to a picture. Yeah, and remember, we can change pictures, movies, sounds, smells, feelings.
Yep. Okay, and do you honestly think you'll do that in the moment?
Yeah, because I know that I'm quite a visual person in this kind of instances.
If we think about it then, so your brain has now said, rather than me getting frustrated and stressed out of my boy, which is adding more stress to my family, which is making me feel like I'm not being a good enough mum, because I get cross for him and all he's done is lip curled at me. Yeah. What I've done is I'm changing my association so I can look at my son who might be thinking something, but if I laugh at him and sing Elvis, what I've done is I've just broken that pattern.
Diffused it as well.
Yeah, and actually you're back in control of your feelings. He can't control your feelings. You can go and sing Elvis Presley and dance around your kitchen, and the world's a happier place. Yeah. And you've stopped to drum.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And you'll do that?
I will do that. I'll let you know, because it'll happen by Thursday.
But that's great. So what is that technique that you've just done?
So the technique, it's called EFT. There's lots of them.
EFT stands for?
Emotional Freedom Therapy. So basically it's our meridian lines. There are certain trauma points, a bit like acupuncture, rather than sticking needles in yourself. You just tap on certain points and it relaxes the nervous system. Yeah, very powerful. There's TFT, EFT, lots of science behind it, but actually it's a brilliant one because it's quick.
Well, thanks, Sue. We are going to do more with Sue. We're going to make this into a bit of a series, I think, because there is so much to talk about. Yeah. So from DB, myself, Neens, and Sue, thank you so much. We'll see you next time on Ransom Big Pants. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.